What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I'm going to run through tonight's games real quick. A little later than usual. You'd like to get them out by noon, but I had a lot going on today. But I want to get our picks out and do a quick recap. Yesterday was a funny day because, again, we had a three-legged loss with the Mavs, which, if you add it up as a 7-unit loss, and of course we close it out. But similar to the night prior, we were able to mitigate a pretty bad day just by hitting. We had Stars almost 2-1. We got Pistons at 1.5-1, and other teams like the Warriors, Avalanche came through. Heat, Mavs were the two obviously that the most probably not fun, only because the Heat are they're laughably bad against the spread, and the Mavs was a leg three. But again, my point is we were able to mitigate it, and that's with a leg three loss. Most days we're not going to have a leg three loss, so I want to go into tonight's games, and I want to make it quick. So right off the bat, I like the Cavs here. I like the Cavs for the cover because I think people are looking at the spread, and if they think it's like fishy, Donovan Mitchell's out, and I think they presented the Cavs as essentially Donovan Mitchell. Like, yes, they have a lot of players. Don't forget they got rid of Kevin Love. They have a lot of good role players, but Mitchell's really the guy that they show to be doing everything, essentially, unstoppable. So I think a lot of people are going to take the Hornets here with Mitchell out. Just like people fade, certain teams. A lot of people fade the Bucks when Giannis is out. Them not as much because at least they have Holiday. But there are some teams when, a player's not playing. SGA for the Thunder, they get faded hard when he's out. I think the Cavs will get faded without him. So if they weren't playing the Hornets, something like the Pistons instead, then I might see 5.5 as light. But the Hornets have had some upsets this year, so I think a lot of people might be on them. I do like the Cavs there for the cover. Here, we got the Pistons, Wizards. And in this game, I do like the Wizards for the cover. And I just think it's a high cover rate. So I think there's a good chance that there's going to be a good bit of people on the Pistons when you got 13 points you're laying. Then we got Nuggets, Raptors. And for this game, I do like the Raptors. I like it a lot because I think it's a complete trap. I don't see why they would have this as a one-point game. Joker might not be playing. Even still, the Raptors have not proven to be a great team. So I think the one-point line is kind of light. They had it as a one-point line last night. So it hasn't changed at all. So I find that interesting too. Usually when they don't change at all, it's not as much a clip, but just a trap. So I like the Raptors a lot here. Then we got Lakers, Pelicans. I really like the Pelicans. You could, again, if you're given the point, if I'm given the point, I'm going to take the -1. If we're getting the point, then I'm going to take the money line. If it's 2.5, if it's 2 points, then I'm going to just take the spread no matter what. But unless I specify I like the money line for a particular reason, I say that because it's stupid to pay -120 for a point when you can get even odds. Yes, the point can sometimes make a difference, but I've played thousands of plays, and it's really around 2.5 points that really makes the difference. It's not a point. But anyway, so yeah, the Raptors, I'm going to take them for the cover. I'm going to take the Pelicans for the cover. I think it's more important they win than the Lakers. Lakers are going to get their run when LeBron returns. Nets, I like them to win because I don't think, again, the Thunder, I think they're going to kind of stay back with the Lakers. They're going to have a lot of these teams with the same record. I think the Blazers can't fall too far behind the Thunder, so I like the Nets to win this game. Again, about even odds on the win, so I'm taking the win over the 1.5. And then we got Magic, Spurs. Here I like the Magic. I'm going to take the cover because the value's there. I think they win, but I'll play the odds that they cover as well. So I like the Magic for the cover. Bucks, Suns. This one I do think the Bucks will win this game, just because I had the Suns originally, you'll see, but I think a lot of people are going to be on the Suns at home. They just looked good. So I have the Bucks in this game. And then, like I said, I actually originally had the Suns, but I thought about it overnight and decided I think the Bucks is a better play. And the last one, I like the Blazers. I think they have to win to, again, stay close to the Lakers, the Pelicans, the Jazz, the same reason the Magic have to win. That's the reason that we had the Thunder winning several games in a row, as well as the Wizards for a while. So it's the long-term booking's been working actually really well because I think we have the right teams that have to win and lose. So that being said, which ones are leg twos, which ones are leg threes, and like I said, as you can see, I originally had the Suns here covering the Bucks. This was last night, but I thought about it, and I just think the Bucks are going to win. Another reason I did this, just so you know, is the discrepancy. So I had like a bunch of home teams winning, and it's just rare that you have like 7 of the 8 home teams cover or win. So I split it up, so I think it's 5-3 or something like that. I know it sounds superstitious, but the last 2 times I did that, we wound up having a good night because of it. And if I stuck to it, my original picks, which were like all home teams outside of one, we would have done worse. So I use a lot of different metrics, so not to be all over the place, but that's the reason I have, some of these teams winning, some of these teams not, but like I said, Raptors to me is my biggest play. I just think it's the results to be determined, of course. I think it just makes no sense that the Raptors are a leg 3, and I also think they need the win. They don't need it, but I think they're going to have certain teams in the East win and stay very close to each other. They need it way more than the Nuggets. So I just think that the Raptors, mostly because it's a trap, but for other reasons, I like them as a leg 3. Wizards cover Pistons. It's a big spread. I can see people on the Pistons for the upset value and because they're getting a lot of points. So I like the Wizards there as I went over. Pelicans over the Lakers. I like that to play it as a leg 2. The reason I play Lakers a lot as leg 2, leg 3 is as far as how they have plus minuses in basketball. Well, the Lakers are our best plus minus. I think we're up about 25 net units with any game we've picked involving the Lakers. You can imagine there's teams that have us down about 20 units. There's teams that are doing okay, but with Lakers, they're bar none the most profitable team for us this year. Nets cover Thunder. I think that's a good one. And again, on this one, the Nets are getting 1.5 points. So you just might as well take them for the win. It's just better odds. Same thing with the Blazers. Okay, I think theirs is exactly 2. So now, it's really up to you. This is just personally what I'm doing. I think the Blazers are going to win because they need to stay a certain position in the West. So that's why I'm specifically taking them to win the game. The Magic, I think they're going to win. I'm taking them to cover for the value. So, it really just comes down to understanding value too. I'm not going to take a -5 on a money line, and risk that much to win that little, especially that's the reason I do my system. We can get better plays. So that's why I've been doing more money lines, and it's been working out. We got plus 150 on the Pistons yesterday and a few others. But I don't want to make them all money lines, like I said. Only the ones that I think are appealing, but not too appealing. Because don't forget, if it's too appealing, the public's also going to be all over it. So as you can see, and I know for a fact that most of these leg ones have been closed, we're at the point where I've closed mostly all of our open sequences. We have a few open leg ones still, and a very few open leg 2s. But the reason I do that is, again, I go back to make sure we close every single sequence, because every sequence closed is a unit gained. It's a net unit of 1. So I'm just trying to find our last leg 1 loss to plug this leg 2 in. And we might actually be, I don't think we're completely closed out, but there's a few. And this is for anyone that, if this is like your first time watching, seeing my channel, and you don't know exactly, this is literally what I do every single night. Yes, it can be a little redundant, repetitive. Just imagine me, I have to type this in every single night and all that, and I don't mind doing it, but it can be redundant. But the reason I do it so methodically and systematically is because it just ensures that I'm sticking to the system and staying disciplined. All right, so here's a leg 1 that we lost a long time ago. We're going to plug in the Magic to cover the Spurs. And I write TBD. That way when I'm looking for it later, it'll be easier to find. And all the way back down here. So now, again, it does not matter where you plug it in. If it's a leg 2, it doesn't matter which leg 1 you plug it in for. If it's a leg 3, It doesn't matter which leg 2 you plug it in for. All that matters, now we're back at the top. All that matters is if you lose a leg 1, you plug in a leg 2. You lose on leg 2, you plug in a leg 3, etc. So we're basically done. We don't have that many more. We got the Jets, Hurricanes. So as far as basketball, that's it for the leg 1s and leg 2s. The rest, Blazers, I'm sticking with that as a leg 1. Nets to win, sticking with that as a leg 1. Cavs cover, sticking with that as a leg 1. So they're all leg 1s. I'm going to have 2 more leg 2s. And these are our hockey plays, by the way. So one is going to be the Knights to cover the Flyers. And you can see we're getting plus 145 on that one. So it's appealing. But again, as I went over before with hockey, they're not going to pay out, plus 300 on a bunch of occasions. They're just not. So I try and find the ones where the Flyers, by the way, are really, really good against the spread. So I think people might be taking them, minus the 1.5 or plus the 1.5 and straight up on the money line. But you have to watch out because, again, they're not going to make it where we can just get easy minus 1.5s and get paid plus 200. So what I try and do with hockey is avoid ones where it just doesn't seem realistic. For example, I was going to take the Blackhawks as a leg 2 to beat the Bruins, but it's like plus 350. The odds of that paying out is just minute. So instead, I just took the more likely cover because people are probably going to be all over the Bruins to win, and then, to cover the minus 1.5. And plus 146 is kind of appealing, but if someone's going to take that, they're probably going to take the Blackhawks for the win. So this Blackhawks-Bruins game, to me, screams of a 1-goal Bruins victory. But that's another one I like here, Blackhawks cover Bruins. That one I only like as a leg 1. And it's also it's paying 146. The other one's plus 145. Jets, Hurricanes over because the Jets are terrible on the over. And I like the Canucks, and since we already were playing this one, that one as a leg 2. We don't need to play it twice. And then, so we got Canucks Stars going under, and we got Jets Hurricanes going over. So once again, we just look for a leg 1 that lost. And for me, like I said, it's basically this is the beginning, and you can see that we're almost closing every single one of them out. So there's a reason I do it the way I do it, but if you're just tailing and you don't have all these open legs, that's fine. But these are the ones that I have. So Jets, Hurricanes over. I like a little more than the other hockey plays, but not that much more because we're also going, like I said, because of the appeal factor. I do like the Blackhawks to cover. Again, that'll be a leg 1. But you can see Boston at minus 455. There's no way I don't think they're just going to pay people for the Blackhawks win. But I do like the cover there. And I do like the Golden Knights cover the Flyers. And that one's got pretty good odds too. And that's our leg 2. And then again, the only other one is the Canucks to go under. And I like the Jets to go over. So those are our plays. We got a good bit. I think it's 12. I think it's 4 hockey. Yeah, it's 4 hockey and 8 basketball. And I think we have a good night. Again, even on our not so good nights, we mitigate it pretty well. And the nights we do good, we usually do exceptionally good. So not to be all over the place, but as you can see, I put a lot of time into this, and it's just to show, people, they can literally just copy paste my picks and they'd be exactly where I'm at. The people that are tailing me are where I'm at. And the other good thing is I try and show people in live time exactly, because people will still ask me what's a leg 2. All a leg 2 is, I know, people do parlays. It has nothing to do with parlays. It just means leg 1 lost, 1 unit lost. Now we're doing 2 units on it. It's a variation of a martingale, but way more complex. So, and same thing with a leg 3. Then it becomes 4 units. And then if you've watched any of my videos, like for any period of time, we don't chase. After 3 units, we close it out. We accept that it's a negative 7 unit loss, and we only need to win 7 sequences to profit, to negate that. Especially if we're getting plus odds like here with the Red Wings yesterday or 2 days ago. On a leg 2, we got plus almost 2.25. So it adds up. And I've noticed since we've introduced hockey, we've been doing substantially better. So that's everything. Not to ramble. Just wanted to get all the picks in. And, of course, as always, explain my rhyme and reasoning. And again, only like 3 of the night, Raptors cover Nuggets. They are 1-point favorites, and I just don't see how that's possible. Even with injured stars, Nuggets are a better team, and the public's been known to take them even without Joker. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.